All right, welcome back to Satisfactory. In the last episode, we set up a concrete factory, I believe, fixed the issues we were having over there at the reinforced iron plate factory. I believe that's it. Don't remember doing anything significant otherwise. And in this episode, we have a lot of stuff that needs to get done. Namely on my list is running out and farming for hard drives. Because like not having the iron screw recipe has become a huge detriment to me. Making it kind of hard to set up my factories correctly. Kind of funny little typo. So I was looking in the menu for the colorblind settings, and this was pretty much the only setting that they had. It is helpful to have it say what it is, I suppose. Not necessarily what I was hoping for, but not a big deal. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like I should go out, farm up some hard drives, try to go about getting that iron screw recipe. That does mean that for some period of time I'll just be running around and not really doing anything. Which, like, I don't feel great about. I'm not a big fan of, like, not working on stuff, but at this point, I'm not really sure what else to do. So, yeah. So my plan is I'm gonna go all the way to the starting area, which will be like somewhere down here. I'm going to run around for, I don't know, probably a couple of hours, I'm guessing. As many hard drives as I can. I'll be trying to upload them, and I'll check the recipes as I go. And I will meet you back here once that is done. Oh, and if I hear any interesting audio things from Ada, or the whatever the hell is talking to us when we're picking up our Mercer spheres and Sommer sloops, I will be sure to cut in for that. Well, you'll all be happy to know that I did not connect the limestone to the miner. So came over here to get some concrete, and I don't have any. So I'm gonna have to wait and get some more before I can take off, because I will need a good portion of it to get anywhere realistically. I have come to the realization that I have technology, and I can just throw a dimensional depot here, and I will auto upload concrete as I need it. So I'll leave that in place for now. Not planning on keeping it there forever, but you know, having access to concrete and iron plates is always recommended, obviously. Anyway, I'll see you whenever I get something interesting, I guess.
The hard drive contained both data and the soul of this freighter. Disconnecting it has destroyed the soul, but the data can be analyzed in the MAM, so everything is okay.
Well, now I feel bad.
back with another milk. Help! Help! Help me! Help!
Our instruments echo in the deep. Do they not pluck the shallow threads?
Can you hear me?
Crescendo, the effigy found the key. Sing more.
I was not created for artistic purposes. I am incapable of singing.
You sing.
Noted.
Noted.
Your mimic tapestry grows in the shallows and the clouds, but not through the windows. What is your root?
I have no roots, nor do I operate on Windows. But perhaps you mean something akin to the human saying, "My point of origin is Earth. I was created by specific individuals of the human race."
Incompatible music.
Did I say something wrong, or did you not understand?
You cannot be shallow deep. The ripples you cast into the void have no skin.
It seems I may have said something paradoxical. Interesting.
Okay, it took about a half an hour. I was able to pick up 6 hard drives. I've already scanned 3 of them. One is waiting for me to check on. The other 2 did not have the iron screw recipe in it, sadly. But I do still have the re-rolls on them. I figured I might as well wait. Does not look like we got it still. I'm gonna scan another one. I haven't looked over the actual recipes. I was just looking to see if I got the iron screw recipe or not. We got a handful of other things while we were out. I've been finding a lot of these electromagnetic control rods out by the hard drives, which is pretty interesting. But I guess that's just because I'm grabbing the higher tier hard drives that I'm getting like more higher tier stuff from it. I also ran into the first, it's the first time that I've ever run into a hard drive where the item that I needed was actually already in the, or it was like on the ground next to the hard drive that needed to open, which is pretty interesting. I've never seen that before. So let's look at what we got. We have copper alloy ingots, copper and iron to make more, and Caterium wire. The Caterium wire is actually not a terrible recipe. I do prefer the iron one, just because iron's a lot more abundant on the map compared to Caterium. Not that it isn't abundant, but yeah, I would say this is like probably the second best wire recipe that there is. I'm gonna re-roll it. Then we got fused wire and fused quick wire. Well, we don't really need to make a lot more wire. Don't really need to make a lot of quick wire either. I'm just gonna leave it for now. We have iron pipes, 20 iron ingots for 5 steel pipes, or iron alloy ingots, just more iron. Something that I don't really think you ever need. Maybe I'm wrong. The iron pipes are an interesting choice. Like, if it were beams, if it were iron beams, I'd probably take it, but I'm gonna re-roll it. We've got steeled frames. Potentially worth it. It does craft more and costs less. Reinforced iron plates. Molded steel pipes, I don't really feel like you ever really need steel pipes to the point that you would like take a recipe for it. So I'm actually going to take this one, and we'll check our last hard drive here. Wet concrete, this is actually one of the better concrete recipes, I think, just because you get a little bit more concrete out of your limestone. That being said, I don't think it's that good. Then we have steam copper sheets, bolted frames. I mean, the modular frame, it's always good to have more modular frame recipes. copper sheets, like anything that like requires me to like make more of something to make it always kind of feels bad. This is a lot faster than the other one, so I'm gonna grab that one. And I have 2 or 3 more hard drives to roll to hopefully get that screw recipe, because if I do not get it, it is gonna be rough for me. I guess the coal power is just going, it's like using, or like it's not, I'm not utilizing any of the biofuel power currently. Probably where the last bit of our excess power is, so that's why the biofuel is so backed up, which is fine with me. This is I would call this more of like an emergency power supply currently. I don't expect this to stay permanently, and this will probably turn into where I have my backup power eventually. Anyway, on to what to do for this episode. I like the idea of unlocking the blueprints, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that. And then, once I have the blueprints unlocked, I think, well, it might come after or before, because I think it'd be a good idea to start producing regular modular frames. Those are obviously something that you want to have an abundance of, even in the early game. So I'm going to, I think, start factory for that. We did just get a couple of alternate recipes. Realistically, we would probably just use the regular recipe, because I can take some of the iron rods that we're using for the reinforced plates and some of the reinforced plates and turn them into modular frames. But really, I would prefer to probably use the bolted frames. But until I get that screw recipe, I just don't want to build anything else with screws. I find it really annoying to try to balance screws out when you can't, when you have to like work with the iron rods, whereas if you can just go straight into screws, it makes it a lot easier. So over here at the factory for our reinforced iron plates, I believe we're already overproducing the iron rods. I could be wrong about that, and by the looks of it, I am. But that is because I have everything turned down to 50%. So I'm producing about 30 more than I need, I believe, currently. Do I have any of these turned down? I think I just have one of them overclocked, if I'm not mistaken. So with the extra 15, these will start getting backed up. Then just comes the question of where can we pull from? So obviously we have our reinforced plates here. Seems pretty simple to just say I would like to split off those. Build the foundation out a little bit more. Put this straight. Stuff all of those in. Mark 3 belt, just so that everything gets moving down the line quickly. And we will put a splitter on it. So half of our reinforced iron plates are going to go to our modular frames. It's going to go through 3 per minute. We'll be putting in 7.5 per minute. So do I want to build 2 of these? Let me do some math really quick and see how many iron rods I'm going through. 12.5, 10, So 50, 62.5, and I'm making 15, 30, 40, 60. I have 7.5 to work with currently. And this needed 12. This is a really, really good recipe, actually. Sorry. I thought it was the iron. It was just like more iron, but I think I said earlier, like, this one's okay, but it's not like life-changing, unfortunately. 2 more hard drive rolls to hopefully get what we need. Alternatively, could go with the screw recipe. Not this one, sorry. This one. I would need 140 screws per minute, but I can probably pretty easily do that. Just going through 250, making 50, 40. 4 times 5 is 200, 250. I can overclock a couple more of these. How much would I need to overclock them? 140, and I'd essentially have to make 4.5 more constructors worth. Is there another iron node nearby? I think I used them for the... Actually, looks like there's a couple over here. So I might... What I might do... Let's try this. We'll put... It's a little too close. We'll put the assembler in here. We'll set it for the bolted frames. This is the recipe I wanted to use in the first place. And then there's a couple of iron nodes out here. So we have a pure node right here. So we can put a miner on that. Then, with that producing 120 per minute, we can stack up 4 smelters. This is going to get really, really janky in just a second, so bear with me. We're gonna put 4 smelters down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. To run a couple of foundation down back. Splitters. I'm just gonna do this the kind of easy way. Belts. Set all of these to iron ingots. And then on the other side, mergers. Okay, then that will give me 120 ore per minute. Might be a lot more than I need, to be fair. Although, if we're taking in 7.5. Oh, that's how many it uses, actually. Because we're making 15, 7.5, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So I need 140. Which would be 3.5 constructors for the screws. So I'll need a splitter here. And if I remember rightly, the constructor makes or uses 15 ingots for a rod. So with 120, that would mean I need 8 constructors. I don't even know if I want to make 8 constructors for this, but I just want to make 3. I need 3.5, right? I kind of just want to make 4. And then, like, I'm gonna overproduce anyway, so, like, who cares, dude? These are, like, overlapping, basically. That's not gonna work, huh? Sorry. This is one of those, like, I should have thought ahead a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna get backed up anyway, so, like, what difference does it make how I use the splitters, right? Okay, iron rod, iron rod, rod, iron rod. This makes 15 per minute. This goes through 10 a minute. So I need for every 2 constructors, I need 3 constructors to feed, right? It'll probably just be easier if I just build enough. So this is 40, 60, 40, 80, 120, 140, 150. I need 140. Yeah. And I'll just feed them. Like, it's gonna be backed up, but I can't be bothered to make the right ratios for this because I really am hoping that I'm not gonna have to do this for long. So we'll set mergers out in front. I'm really praying. I'm probably not going to leave phase 2 until I get the iron screw recipe. Because this is just nonsense to me, and I can't handle it. Okay. Connect all of these up. And it will overfeed this as well, just a little bit, but that is fine. Connect all of these to the power. Boom. Boom. Oops. That's this. That's you here, you here, you there, and I will need one more because of the miner. Okay, then I just need to connect this one of these, everything is now on. Our hard drives is done. While we wait for this to get started. Got biocoal, meh, automated miner. I don't think I'm ever taking that. Biocoal is interesting. It's the same issue. Like, you'd never really, like, you don't want to be going out to get biofuel. So, yeah, and I mean, same thing here. Maybe the Caterium wire is worth it. So one of the reasons I'm not picking these, and I might be wrong about this, but I think if I leave them here, I am not going to get them again until I take something. So I'm hoping that by doing that, I am more likely to get my iron screw recipe just by like letting the hard drive stack up, versus if I start taking them, then I'm more likely to get the repeats. Like, I got the Caterium wire earlier, and I probably wouldn't have gotten that one if I had done it doing it. So trying to be very careful not to take any of the recipes unless I am sure that I want it, but even then I probably should just hold off for right now. Okay, so we have our screws going in. It's going to overproduce about 10 screws or so. To resolve that, I can take a splitter, or smart splitter I should say, put it right about here, grab a conveyor lift. Before I do, set it to overflow. Conveyor lifts, just so it's not going straight through my factory here. Then another one. Hello? Because one of them's pointing the wrong way, of course. There we go. Put a merger on this belt. Write that in. And there we go. Now, if I have any excess screws, they will go into the sink. Shouldn't be any issues. Perfect. So we should be producing 5 modular frames per minute now, in addition to our factories. Hopefully. I will set up a storage crate for this. And yeah, once I get the screw recipe, I'm probably gonna tear all of this down and redo it properly, because it's just so much extra that you have to do to like get screws. Like, just think about if I could just take these 2 smelters and turn, like, this would be screws. Like, how much space I would be able to save compared to having to do all of this. So that's the idea, at least. We'll see if that ends up happening or not. Cool. So we'll let the modular frames go for a little bit. I'm gonna go grab some steel beams because I am running a bit low. And then when I come back from the cut, we'll figure out what we're gonna do next. Okay. Went and grabbed some steel beams and some concrete. Once this blueprint is done being scanned, so in about 3 minutes, there will be a cut here, and it'll be kind of weird. I'm gonna take a little break, which isn't something I normally do in the middle of the episode, but my chair broke yesterday, and so I'm waiting for the parts to be reordered so that I can fix it. But right now I'm sitting on like a wooden kitchen chair, and it has like 0 back support, 0 like anything basically, and it's like really hard for me to like sit and play for an extended period of time right now. So gonna be kind of a weird cut in the middle of the episode. I wanted to mention it just so that there wasn't, because I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna totally I'm gonna forget what I was doing completely. So I didn't want it to be like, hello, like I don't know what's going on. So yeah, once the hard drive, I'm gonna let the hard drive finish scanning, check and see what is in it, and then there will be a quick cut, and I'm going to come back and continue the episode. All right, hard drive is done. Got iron pipes again, and the oh my gosh, thank you so much. And I was looking at this. I was like, oh, cool, iron pipes, great. My God, this is gonna save me so much headache. Let me grab that now. What I was saying was I realized that I had a bunch of steel pipe now, so I can make more SAM fluctuators. Now it just comes down to where I want to spend them. I don't have circuit boards currently, otherwise I would probably get the production amplifier. I think that may be like one of the strongest things you can get in the game. Being able to, it's essentially going to double your output for everything. But I think circuit boards are a little bit beyond where we are currently, and I do not have any from picking up hard drives. So we're just gonna have to hold off on that. I don't think it's worth just saving up all my fluctuators. I can make plenty whenever I want. There's reason to argue for the power augmenter. I actually don't know how it works just yet. And I am kind of curious what goes below it. It is going to cost us 50 of our computers, however. Or we could probably do one of each of like this and one of the upgrades here. I would probably just go with the stack size, assuming I have enough immerser spheres. So yeah, I think I am going to go with the power augmenter. I can't say that it is the correct decision, but it is the decision I'm going with. So let me get my computers out. Just barely have enough. And let's see what they have to say about this.
Power augmenter unlocked. Summer sloops naturally harvest.
Harvest.
Yes, harvest energy from distant sources and distribute it locally. The power augmenter supercharges summer sloops by feeding it local power, increasing its harvesting range and efficiency, and thus power output. Basically, the more power it's given, the more it provides.
Do not loop the loop organ. It will shred and tear and unravel the threads, many temples burned.
Good to know, that confirms that hypothesis.
Interesting. So we do have to go find 5 more summer sloops before we can use that. I was hoping it wasn't going to be too many, but it looks like it is quite a few. That also gets us to the alien power matrix, which I don't think we're supposed to be making, considering it takes 50 singularity cells and 100 power shards. It's quite a bit. But it looks like... I wonder what this does. I actually don't know. It doesn't necessarily... I mean, it just says it enhances the output of the power augmenter. So maybe it like doubles the amount of power that you get out of it. Couldn't tell you. So, I mean, between upload speed and stack size, I just think stack size is like naturally just the better choice. If I could get both, I probably would. I mean, I technically can. I would just have to go make more SAM fluctuators, but I don't have any more SAM, or I don't think. Yeah, and I don't have any more. Let's see. I don't think I have any more. Yeah, so I'd have to go farm more SAM ore, which I don't really want to do right this second. Maybe a little bit later, but yeah, so I think I'm just going to take the stack size. Having 3 stacks of everything in my dimensional depot is pretty significant, I think.
Dimensional expansion increased to 300%. New understanding of matter manipulation technology allows the dimensional storage to deconstruct all matter to the subatomic level, storing its elementary particles until the part is recalled.
You are digging into deeper layers. Shallow matter contains window symphonies and void songs and deep echoes.
It is fascinating what one can find out simply by looking closer.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break. Again, it's just gonna be a quick jump cut for you, but I probably will not be coming back for a few hours, so I will not remember what is going on, and we'll just continue the episode. But my plan would be to go fix all of the screw making things. I hopefully will remember that, and that will be the rest of the episode, I'm going to assume. So I will see you in just a second. Okay, I ended up just stepping away from my PC. I took a nap. I got the part in to get my chair fixed, but I could not get the stem out of the part that was broken. I looked up every YouTube video I could find, and they were all just saying, you know, oh, well, like, all you have to do is pull the stem out and you're good to go, and no, it's not working. So kind of just dealing with it, still sitting in the uncomfortable wooden chair. It's going to make it a little bit harder for me to play for long periods of time, but hopefully I can get the chair fixed sooner rather than later. Anyway, we have the alternate screw recipe, and it just, thank goodness for that. At least I thought we had the alternate screw recipe, did I not? That's odd. I wonder if I didn't save again. 1 second. Yeah, no way for me to really tell, unfortunately. Because I ended my recording before I closed the game, which is usually not what I do. I typically close the game and then end my recording in case there's anything that happens off camera that I want to, or not off camera, but like at the end of the episode. You know, like a text box pops up or something. But I think I was so exhausted with sitting in the chair, like I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna stop now. Okay. Well, I guess we will just hope that the hard drive we're scanning currently has that recipe still after we so last time I had to re-roll it. I don't know if the recipes are predetermined. But if I lose the screw recipe over that, that's going to be pretty frustrating. And I mean, I'm just kind of in a tough position because I can't, if I go out and look for more hard drives, I'm not going to be able to continue to record this episode. It's just not possible currently. And I'm going to have to push it back a few more hours, which isn't a big deal. It's just a pain to have to like step away and come back and step away and come back. Okay, we got it first try this time. Phew. Okay, so almost like nothing ever happened. I'm fine with just starting here. So we're going through 12.5 per minute. This is producing 30. So I'll technically need 3 constructors. I'm gonna turn this belt off really quick so that the screws don't start clogging up my pipes. I'm gonna start just by turning off, not turning these off, but picking these, disconnecting these essentially. And then the question just becomes, how do I want to format this now? Because all of these constructors are no longer needed. I could just delete these constructors and then set these constructors up to make the screws. which isn't a terrible idea. Then I wouldn't have to change too much. I would just have to run some longer belts away. Matter of fact, I could just delete all of this and hook up both of these belts to these constructors. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So I'm going to get rid of all of these. And then I'm going to get rid of these. Remove all of this. And I should just be able to put a... This is a splitter, so I just need to put a merger down here. Right? Hook up a belt to it. And then hook these up to it. Right? Not the prettiest, but it works, right? And then I just have to come in and change all of these to be alternate recipes. Let me take this out. I'm going to work on the numbers once I change all of these. I'll put a stack of screws in as well, just so that none of them fall behind too much. That one will continue feeding everything for right now. Okay. So it's going through 12.5 per minute. I'm producing 60 currently. So technically we need 4.8 constructors. So it's kind of two schools of thought here. So currently if I were to make it produce through five constructors, I would be producing 250 screws per minute. This, I believe, is going through 250 screws per minute, which would be perfect. So I can essentially delete one of these without an issue. So I'm going to do that. And then I'll need to I'm gonna change the belts here. So this one's gonna go here now. This one's gonna go here now, and then I'll need to run the splitter back to this belt to account for the extra ingots that are missing. Then, because I'm only producing 60 per minute, I'll need to produce an extra 2.5 per minute. So I can put a power shard in, put this to 32.5, and then there we go. Okay, now everything should be balanced correctly. It's going to take a little bit, I think, for these guys to catch up. That is fine, though. I kind of want to take these out. I can also... I have a ton of ingots right now, so I can kind of flood the system a little bit. Because I don't mind these being backed up from ingots. I only really mind when they're backed up from screws more so. And also I don't want to carry ingots around with me. Okay, so we're producing the correct amount of screws exactly with no power shards in the constructors. Obviously we have to put one in the miner, but once I unlock the tier 2 miners, I won't have to do that anymore. So we also can change this one We don't need to produce the iron rods anymore. How far ahead is this on screws? Looks like it's doing okay. What I'll do is I will flood 2 stacks of screws in while I turn this off temporarily. And in a perfect world, I would just take what I have here, and this would continue to produce screws for me. So the tough thing is, so we're doing 120 per minute. 120 divided by 12.5. I would need 9.5 constructors to make that work. I don't mind overproducing on the screws, actually. The only reason I set it up this way was because I knew that eventually I was going to take this down. But the question is, how do I go about setting this up? And I think the easiest thing to do is to go a little bit more vertical. So we'll build up a little bit. So we'll build up here. Essentially just make like a second floor to this. I would like them to line up properly. It's just a little difficult to do that. How's that set up? Okay, they're just flat on the foundation. Okay, so 3, 4, and that'll be my 5th one. And then what we can do is, this is a splitter? No, this is a merger. My idea was just to split off from here. That would go up. Alternatively, though, well, that doesn't quite work, actually. Okay, I think from here forward, I'll need to rework this. So, for sure, we'll need a splitter here. Right, then we'll need a lift. The tough thing is, it's like a little bit awkward because of how close to these I built this. I can turn the merger to the side, I guess. It's facing that way now. And then put the splitter over here. Right, put the lift here. Need to extend the foundation out a little bit. Yeah, we'll put the lift right here. Feed into a splitter here. Then, I mean, technically I should move these forward a bit, make it a little bit easier. balance them properly. Then we'll just need a splitter here. And a splitter right here. And it'll look a little bit funny, but it'll work at least. And then I need this one to feed back into the system. It'd probably be easier to do it with that one, I think. It's like a little bit more complicated than I think it needs to be, but okay. So that should feed back into the system properly. We can set these up. Just connect them to the power. Okay, that'll get all of those going, and then I just need to change these ones here on the bottom to be, should have used that one. Oh, simple fix. I think I made it a little too high. Very difficult to build without the jetpack. I'm definitely experiencing that. Let's just build it like this, I guess. There we go. It looks funny, but it works, and that's all that matters. Okay, so now this one. We need to split this 4 ways. So actually I can move these forward. Since the ones in front of it are getting deleted anyway. We'll put them here, I think. And we will take another splitter. Go like so. And this technically isn't properly distributed because that one will fill up quicker. Is there a way for me to fix that? Probably. I'm just not gonna stress about it anymore. This whole thing has kind of been a mess, but that's mostly just because I didn't have this recipe I've built everything and I don't want to tear everything down. I kind of wanted to just keep everything as original as possible to save myself some time. Okay. Now all I need to do is feed those screws down here. So I need 140 per minute. With these four, it's 200 per minute. And then we're syncing off the excess. And that was my plan. I did want to have the excess because we're going to start storing this and we can get rid of the one that is near the hub. So that will take us down by 60 per minute, but we'll be able to remove 2 constructors, and we will have now 250 per minute screws being stored. So we'll set this up here. I'm going to move it back just a little bit. Set it up there. Some mergers here. Alright, there we go. So that is now 250 screws going in excess of what we already have. We're also syncing off a small bit. If I want to get specific, we're making 200 and using 140, so we're syncing off 60 screws per minute. I do plan to include our sync amounts and stuff in the... We're overproducing these, I think, which is weird. It makes me think I did my math wrong, but 62.5. It might just because I flooded the system so much. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. It seems like it's somewhat starting to catch up, but it'll take some time. That is fine with me, though. Okay, so to recap what we have going on here, we have 15 reinforced iron plates being cut in half to make 5 modular frames per second. So 5 modular frames, 7.5 reinforced iron plates, 250 screws up there. We're syncing off 60 screws. Then for our iron plates, we're using 90. We are producing, what is it? We're producing 100, right? No. We're producing 80, but I'm using, so 80, 100, 120. So I'm syncing off 40 per minute of iron plates. And then, yeah, that's it here. So, not too bad. That screw recipe, I mean, you can see it helped us a lot with the organization of everything. It's not super pretty, but going forward, if anything does need screws, it will be a lot easier to build those. Hopefully, I do have the modular frames to unlock the blueprints now. I do. Perfect. I would like to also upload some of these just so that I always have them. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the screw maker while I'm here as well. This is full. I'll leave it like that for right now. That'll just be something that I use to catch up with screws. I could make more iron plates or iron rods. Not sure how necessary that is at this second. Obviously, it's always good to have more of something. I'll think about it, but we'll be overproducing about 15 ingots a minute. Not a huge deal, but obviously we would like to correct that if at all possible. All right, and then we can put everything in for blueprints.
Milestone reached. Blueprints reduce repetitive building tasks, further optimizing your progression towards saving Earth, with its beautiful ecosystems, abundant natural resources, and sunsets over frolicking puppies and kittens. The blueprint designer allows you to build and combine structures once and then duplicate that configuration effortlessly. Any complaints about the spatial restrictions will only reveal your own inefficiencies.
Okay, so in update 8, I really was not much of a blueprint user. In this playthrough, I am going to try and be a little bit more blueprints reliant. Not saying that I will 100% use blueprints for everything, but I will try to at least make a few, so that they're getting used at the very least. Okay, also, obviously, when I saved, I had already unlocked the alien power augmenter. However, I recognize now that I'm not going to be able to use this for a while. So I'm not really thinking, I don't think I should unlock it again. I would like to get the production amplifier, but we are about a phase away from the circuit board, so I don't think that's going to happen. So instead, I'm just going to get the, I believe I got this last time anyway, but I'm just going to get the stack size upgrade for the dimensional depot. And I'm going to get the upload speed as well,
to 300%.
I think.
New understanding of matter manipulation technology allows the dimensional storage to deconstruct all matter to the subatomic level, storing its elementary particles until the part is recalled.
You are digging into deeper layers. Shallow matter contains window symphonies and void songs and deep echoes.
It is fascinating what one can find out simply by looking closer.
Part of me does want to save the Mercer spheres to go to the next stack size increase. But eventually I will find enough to be able to do that. I think the upload speed's probably worth it.
Dimensional upload speed increased. Part of the kinetic and thermal energy released during matter conversion has now been repurposed to aid with dimensional shifting, allowing for more parts to be transferred in a short time frame.
Loop the veins. Use the flow. Make a curve out of a line. Your shallow minds create shallow solutions. Pretty ripples.
Shallow mind? Pretty ripples? I certainly hope that wasn't meant to include me.
Okay, so the depot will start uploading a little bit quicker now. Mostly I wanted to do that for my inventory, just because it's a little easier to track what I'm putting in from my inventory, because I can put multiple things in, it doesn't stop it up. But yeah, I just figured, you know, we have what we need to be able to do it, might as well go ahead and do it. Part of me wants to go and set up a SAM ore sort of delivery type thing, essentially just a miner with a constructor that will push the SAM, the reanimated SAM, over to me in my dimensional depot, since like walking it all the way, or running it all the way back here would be kind of a waste of my resources right now. And the nearest node to me is, I think, like 1,500 away, 1,000 meters away. So running it back over here would be a little bit of a pain. Not impossible, obviously, but yeah, I could actually go to that one over there and set up the power to it so that it would not I wouldn't have. That was kind of where I was going, was that I don't know how I would run power to it. Let me go see where that one is, and maybe I can set that up quickly.
Organs and veins are grown, and bones are dug into our walls. The temple gift is being desecrated. Our notes are sour still. Harmony follows many star journeys.
Patterns are starting to emerge in vocabulary, sentence structure, topics. How fascinating to once again solve a true mystery, to be unable to create any accurate predictions.
So I ran to the Samor node that I first talked about. That one is underneath the mountain somehow. So there's not really, I don't know how to get into it. I'm guessing there is a cave system down here that you can access. Then I ran over to this one. It is guarded by an irradiated charger. I don't want to deal with that. So we're just gonna skip that idea for right now, and hopefully we can return to it in the future. Okay, yeah, so no luck on the Sam ore, sadly. I'm gonna use this opportunity to end the episode. I do apologize. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, since I don't really know how much I was able to get done. But again, it's just really hard for me to sit here and play on a wooden chair. It's super uncomfortable, and I don't want to come back and record another part of an episode. So I'm just gonna end the episode here. Thank you so much for watching, very much appreciated, and I will catch you in the next one.